Microsoft has launched the new Surface Pro 12-inch device at a price that's $200 cheaper than the Surface Pro 11, now called the Surface Pro 13-inch. But what are you missing out on to save that $200? And is it worth it? Let's find out. Let's start with the most obvious difference, the smaller display. The Surface Pro 12-inch unsurprisingly has a 12-inch LCD display and no OLED option, unlike the 13-inch model, which you can optionally upgrade to OLED. The 12-inch display has both a lower overall resolution as well as lower pixel density at 220 ppi versus 267 ppi for the 13-inch model. It's also less bright, coming in at 400 nits versus the 13-inch display's 600 nits. There are some other features missing, including the vivid color profile, auto color management, Dolby Vision IQ, and the strengthened glass display is probably not as tough as Corning Gorilla Glass 5. However, the final important difference is that the 12-inch display's refresh rate defaults to 60 Hz but can go up to 90 Hz, while the 13-inch display is 120 Hz. Heading to the heart of the machines, the Surface Pro 12-inch has an 8-core Snapdragon X Plus chip, which is 20% fewer cores than the 13-inch model's X Plus. That means multi-core performance could be up to 20% less as well. Both the Surface Pro 12-inch and the 13-inch come with 16 GB of memory by default, though the 12-inch can't go any higher, while the 13-inch can be upgraded all the way up to 64 GB. For storage, they also both come with 256 GB by default, and the 12-inch can go up to 512 GB, while the 13-inch can go up to 1 TB. The 13-inch model storage is also technically removable and is faster as it uses NVMe rather than UFS on the 12-inch, but exact speed differences would require some benchmarks. The front webcam on the Surface Pro 12-inch is only 1080p compared to the 1440p webcam with an ultra-wide field of view on the Surface Pro 13-inch. In addition, the 12-inch webcam seems to be missing support for teleprompter and portrait blur features, unless it was just an omission. Just like the 13-inch omits enhanced sign-in security here, but I doubt it's actually less secure than the 12-inch. The rear cameras on both models seem to be the same. When it comes to ports, the Surface Pro 12-inch has only 2 USB-C ports at 10 gigabit per second speeds, also known as USB 3.2, while the 13-inch model's 2 USB-C ports are at USB 4 or 40 gigabit per second speeds. The 13-inch model does come with an optional 5G version with a nano SIM slot, which is not an option for the 12-inch model. More importantly, the 12-inch model no longer has the Surface Connect charging port, which means you'll need to use up one of the USB-C ports for charging. Speaking of charging, there's no power supply adapter included with the Surface Pro 12-inch, just a USB-C charging cable, and you have to fork out an additional $70 if you want a 45-watt charger. Or just use any 27-watt or higher USB-C charger you may already have. In contrast, the Surface Pro 13-inch comes with a 39-watt power supply included in the base price. Both models support fast charging, though the 12-inch achieves this at just 45 watts, while the 13-inch does so at 65 watts. The reason for this could be that the Surface Pro 12-inch has a battery size of 38 watt-hours, while the 13-inch LCD version has a 48 watt-hour battery, and the OLED version has a 53 watt-hour battery. That means the battery is 21% smaller on the Surface Pro 12-inch than the 13-inch, but claimed battery life is actually 2 hours or up to 20% more on the 12-inch. That's likely due to the smaller and less bright display, among other things. When it comes to size, the Surface Pro 12-inch's length is 4% smaller, width is 9% smaller, while the height or thickness is 19% thinner. As a result, the weight is also 24% less at only 1.5 pounds without the keyboard cover. Add on the keyboard, and the total weight for the Surface Pro 12-inch comes to 1.77 pounds, and the 13-inch becomes 2.71 pounds. So the overall laptop-style weight of the 12-inch is actually 35% less than the 13-inch. With the smaller size keyboard attachment, the Surface Pro 12-inch now supports magnetically attaching the pen to the back of the tablet instead of a cutout on the keyboard. The 12-inch also supports haptic feedback with the Surface Slim Pen instead of tactile signals, but I'm not sure what that means. The keyboard itself also doesn't seem to have the ability to partially grip the bottom of the screen to raise it up a bit and provide much better stability when used on a lap, a feature that was added all the way back with the 3rd generation Surface Pro. Both of these changes could be considered a usability and storage downgrade, and especially the keyboard one might be a deal breaker if you use a laptop on your lap. The cost of the Surface Pro 12-inch starts at $800, while the keyboard is $150 for a total laptop price of $950. The Surface Pro 13-inch starts at $1,000, but Microsoft doesn't seem to be selling that model anymore on its store, instead offering the $1,200 version with storage upgraded to 512 GB as the lowest cost one. This might be to differentiate it even more from the 12-inch, but I'll still compare the 256 GB storage price for the value comparison. With the keyboard coming in at $170 without pen storage or $180 with pen storage, the laptop price of the Surface Pro 13-inch is $1,170. These are the prices before sales, which seem to happen regularly now, especially for the Snapdragon Surface models. So if you pay the extra $220 for the Surface Pro 13-inch over the 12-inch, you'll get 25% more CPU cores, 8% larger display with 21% higher pixel density, 50% more nits of max brightness, and 120Hz refresh rate instead of 90. Faster removable NVMe versus UFS storage. 1440p front webcam instead of 1080p. Faster 40 gigabit per second USB 4 ports instead of 10 gigabit per second USB 3.2, plus a dedicated Surface Connect charging port. 26% larger battery, but 2 hours less battery life. A 39-watt power supply included instead of just a USB-C cable and no power supply. A 53% heavier laptop-style device or 31% heavier tablet-style device. And a lap-optimized raised keyboard attachment mode for more stability when not on a flat desk. So what do you think? Personally, I think the lapability factor with the keyboard, dedicated charging port with included power supply, and faster USB 4 ports would push me toward the larger Surface Pro 13-inch. But as always with these Snapdragon Surface devices, always wait for the frequent sales and be sure you're okay dealing with any software compatibility issues before you buy. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more like it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.